Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how to automate the OneDrive actions using the Power Automate. So in OneDrive, what we can do, we can create a files. We can add the data to the OneDrive files. Then we can create a folder. We can copy the files. We can move the files. We can delete the files. Even you can upload a file from URL also. So all these actions with respect to the folders and files we can perform. Even with file conversion and sharing, you can convert the files between PDF to doc file or doc file to PDF kind of things you can perform. You can create a shareable link. You can create share link by path also. You can do that, meaning you can share the files. You can share the specific file. You can share the specific folder also. Even you will search for the files based on the names and metadata, so we can do that also. Right, so you can get the details about the files, like what is the size of file, type of file, and then when the file is modified, like likewise we can get the information. In metadata is nothing but information. Then flow and trigger launch panel, you can run the flow directly from OneDrive using launch panel, such as requesting manager approval for selected files. Okay, kind of things you can do. So let's do the little bit automation with respect to business OneDrive folder. Right, so this flow can prompt for inputs like approver name and even message. It can send for the approval. Approval is used at the backend. Right, so these are the actions. So how to automate, right? So if you think about the OneDrive, if I come to the OneDrive, here it is the OneDrive. Even you can see here it is the OneDrive. If I open this, right, this is connected to my system. Whatever I will create in desktop or in document folder of OneDrive, everywhere, this is getting synchronized with the cloud. So this icon indicates, here you can see all files are synchronized. That means everything is synchronizing with to the cloud. Whatever I'll create, it will be synchronized. Until and unless these folder, meaning whatever the folders, like this download folder is not synchronized. This is not connected to the OneDrive. So the data here is not getting synchronized. But rest of the things, meaning whatever I'll create on the desktop or in the document folder and all, it will get synchronized automatically to the cloud. So how to see the cloud then? Right, if you click on this, any of the file, let's say if I click on this employee leave request form, just say right click on it, and you can have the option to view online. Okay, so open with share properties. Okay, this is already okay. Did I made this available? Okay, so here if you go to the OneDrive, you can see shareable link, you can see copy link, manage access, view online, and version history. Right, so this is we can say OneDrive is a version control system. When I say open, this is getting synchronized with my SharePoint. But this is personal SharePoint, not the domain specific, I can say, or not the company level, right? So here you can see this is what my domain, and then there is something called my, right? And it can open. So if I come to the webcam, here I have a data. So whenever we work with the OneDrive, right? So everything will be created on the cloud. Everything will be created on the cloud. So if I remove everything after this, okay, if I hit the button, it will come to my cloud, right? This is what app, attachment, desktop, documents, like this. and employee request form, right? This is what the leave request form. This is what the files. Even this is row level security and sales, PBIX, right? So all these files you will be able to see here in this folder. Even test data from Power BI. So I can say test data from Power BI. Everything is sharing. You can see this is all these files are private files, so nobody can see. But if you want to change the setting, you will be able to share the files. Then you will see the names of peoples to whom you have shared the files, right? So this is about the OneDrive. So whenever you make the connection with OneDrive, it will connect to the cloud, not to your local system. This is what the purpose what I wanted to say. Now let me back. Let me create the new flow. I don't want to start with the same flow. Okay, so let me select. Again, I'm selecting manual. You can select automated if you want to perform something based on the automated, but few connectors are there when file is created in OneDrive. Like these connectors were there. So I'm not using those. So I will say this should be triggered manually. And I can say automation, or let me say OneDrive automation in, okay, let's say this is in Power Automate, so no need to write in Power Automate and all. This is fine. We came here, so we need to add the actions, what to do. Okay, I wanted to create a file on the OneDrive. Is it possible? Yes, we can do that. What kind of actions we can perform, we will see here. So if you see OneDrive for business, okay, you can see OneDrive for personal also. There is something called personal also. So let me say OneDrive. Right. So this is OneDrive for business. This is OneDrive for your personal. And all these are related to the OneDrive online Excel, meaning Excel can be in OneDrive folder or it can be in SharePoint. You will be able to perform or you will be able to use this. Right. So let me open this by clicking on the see more. So you will be able to see these many actions. So first of all, it is saying, it is asking to create a file. Okay. Even if you want to convert the file, you can convert the file from one to another. Copy files, delete files. You will be able to create shareable link. This is what I said. You will be able to share the files with someone. Even create share link by path, by folder you can do. Even copy file using path. So this is what, these are the actions. So with respect to folder, what we can do is we can find number of files or list all the names of files, right? So that there may be an action that get files content, get files content, okay, get files metadata, list files in a root folder. Right. Then if you want to update the file, move or rename the file, move or rename using the path. So all these can be done. Now let me try creating a create file. Okay. So it will ask, okay, it will ask for the OneDrive and it is coming. Okay. By default, it is picking online. That's why it says OneDrive for business, then root folder. Right. And let me say here in the root folder only, I would like to create, okay, file name. Okay, what kind of file you can create? So you can create any type of file. If the file, meaning the name of the file, contain characters are disallowed by the OneDrive, will be replaced by underscore. Anything if you use. So let me say test dot xlsx. Right. And if you want to add the file content, you can add. Otherwise, okay, you need to add the content. Okay, so let me try creating a text file. Dot text, and let me add the content like this is demo file creation. We can create the file for the Okay, folder path is required. So it says folder path. Okay, I did selected the folder path. This is the root path, right? Let me try to save. Okay, might be that got not selected. And here, if you see, there is nothing called test.txt, and this will add this content. Let me run this. Okay, usually we don't create the files. Okay, so meaning text files. Okay, so if I say open, this is my notepad, right? So we are able to create a files. This is fine. Don't save, and I don't want to touch this, right? So we are able to create this. Let's say you may want to create an Excel file, and there are connectors. As I said, online connectors are available, but still you can't create Excel file directly. But yes, let me see Excel online, and here you will not be able to see a create file. Create table is fine, create worksheet is fine. In selected Excel you can create worksheet, inside that create table, even get the information about the tables, everything is possible. But then the question is how to create new Excel file. Okay, so let me come to this. Here, let me say, this is test excel.xlsx, and the file content, I don't have anything in the table format, but I would add like this on the test. Okay, let me try saving this, and then I'll be running this. Let's see the behavior, because I don't have the data for the table. Right, the flow is executed successfully, file is created, and let me see if it is here. So test.xlsx. Now let me see whether this file is working or not. Right. So XLSX file, it will not work for the XLSX. This is what the problem with OneDrive. So to handle this, if you want to save the data in Excel, you can't do that. Okay. So what you can do, you can create the .csv files. .csv files are supported. Okay. .csv files are supported. I can show you how it works. And CSV files we can open with the Excel. But if the files are more than, meaning if your data is more than even 10 lakh rows, you don't have to open those Excels. 10 lakh 48,500 something number of rows are allowed in Excel. So don't open those many rows. So here I will say test.csv. Okay. And here the data is like test and then hello. Okay. I'm just trying to save. Let's see whether it is able to. So comma separated file I'm going to write, and I have entered the data for test and hello. Okay, so this is, you can see this is a CSV file, and you will be able to see, open the CSV file. You will be able to write. So if you want to write the data in Excel format, okay, if you want to write the data in Excel format, you can't create Excel file, but yes, you can create Excel file. You can have the files here. You can read that file. Then you can create the table. Then you can create the sheet, and even you can add the data to the table. This is what possible, but you cannot create the Excel file. So this is what the limitation I observed so far. Right. So next connector we can test for the delete files. Right. So here, whatever the file we have created, meaning there is another way. We cannot write the data directly to the Excel. But if I say text.xlsx, that this is the thought comes in my mind. Okay. And if you are going to create a data, so like here, what to pass there? So we don't have blank function. I can say null. Okay, not to put any data. I'm just trying this. Let me say save. After this, we will try to delete the file. Okay, this is the file I'm going to create, and I will delete this file. Okay, test.xlsx. This is the file that 648 this got created. So these files are always created, but this is not supporting the Excel format. Okay, so let me go back, and I have to perform the delete file, right? So let me delete the action. I'm not going to create the file. So if I say OneDrive for business, and here if I come, so like delete file, you need to select the file. Okay, this is the root. Inside the root, I'll have this file. This is what the file I created sometime before using the Power Automate. So don't try to create the Excel files. Create Excel file on your own, and then you can create the tables. And inside the tables, you will be able to write the data. Right. So you can see that file is deleted. Sometime before I created that file, I deleted using this delete file. You just have to select the file, right? So we saw with respect to create a file, we saw with respect to delete file. Similarly, you will be able to copy or move the files. You need to select the source and destination, source file or source folder, and then where to move the files, where to copy the files. You need to use the destination. Okay. Then create file. Okay, this is what we saw. Then if you want to see the list of all the files in the OneDrive, so if I go here, so list files in a folder. This is the or list files in a root folder. These are the two actions. So root folder meaning you need not to select anything. This will no additional information is required. It will pick the first folder, meaning the main folder. Then here I will say folder. So here it is asking for the folder. Okay, so let me go to these and I will just show you the difference. Okay, what and all files are there on the desktop. I'll get a big list. Let me run this and wait. Okay, so here list the files in root folder. Right, so here you will be able to see this is the body. So all the information last modified, what is the size, what is the media type, okay, is folder no or is folder true, whatever. Meaning if it is a folder, it will come true. If it is a file, it will come false. Okay, so like this app role.xlsx here you can see each folder. This is not a folder, this is a file. Then last modified, last created, path, display name, right? So name, no extension, without extension kind of things. So these are the kind of information you will be able to get. In the document folder, you will be able to see what I have here. So from body, and inside a body, you will be able to see there is something called content. Okay, this is folder true, and last modified by the webcam. Username is coming. This is the input, and this is the output here. And this is folder. So this is how this is going to work. These actions are going to work for us, right? So if you want to convert the file, you can try that. You just have to select the action. You just have to give the value for the specific, give the input for the required field wherever the star is there. If you want to give the input for the optional input fields, you can give that also. But yes, so this is the way you can automate. Even after creating a file, you may perform some kind of data transformations and all. Everything can be done, and after that you may want to move the file to the specific folder. Everything is possible. If you ask me, yes, that is possible. Right, so I hope here I'll not go to the more actions, but yes, this is sufficient. Whatever the information we discussed or I just shown you is sufficient to understand how the OneDrive automation can be done. Right. So I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Happy learning. Do not forget to subscribe WebChamp. Thank you.